Good day. I am very honored to speak to the audience of the International Alliance and the ALS community. We would like to thank the Alliance for giving us this opportunity. We are Connie van der Meijden, Secretary and Portfolio Holder, Care of ALS Patient Association in the Netherlands. Connie has had ALS for 23 years. My name is Bianca Weller, CEO of the ALS on the Road Foundation and member of the Patient Advisory Board of the ALS Patient Association since 2014. It is essential to have accurate information when dealing with a rapidly progressive and debilitating disease such as ALS, MND. Due to the large amount of information available online regarding ALS and MND, new patients and their loved ones often become lost in the information and organizations available online. You do not want to be confronted in the beginning with issues that play a role on the final phase, because you are still emotionally processing the diagnosis. Moreover, they do not know which information is reliable and leading. Experiencing ALS is like you are unintentionally on the ALS MMD train, and suddenly you are traveling to an unknown destination, with your loved ones, with your own luggage, and with your own route. There are already many patients and loved ones on the train. Some have a slower train, others a faster one. One goes counterclockwise, the other clockwise, but all stations are visited. Sometimes you visit the same train platform at the same time, and sometimes you skip a platform. You soon realize that everyone's destination is the same. Only your family members go further. This Dutch guide organizes the most relevant information on Dutch websites into 5 phases, stations, namely beginning, soon, later, final phase and aftercare. Each station has several platforms, such as mental support and resources, from which you will be directed to the relevant information on the internet. The ALS guide contains existing Dutch online information and links to it. Experience shows that many new people who have just been diagnosed with ALS are not interested in all kinds of end issues, such as feeding tube and ventilation. The disease process proceeds in phases. With this guide, people receive reliable and applicable information organized by topics. By example, the station later is a period of further decline, greater adjustments, drastic aids, important choices, life questions, and professional care. This station contains train platforms such as home care, behavioral changes, interventions, and choices. This is an example of how the train platform, intervention, and choices have been worked out. The words in orange link to the most relevant website. The benefits of the ALS guide are organization of the information per phase. The user, patient and loved one knows where good information can be found per phase and per subject. It can be continuously added to and changed, and also can it be supplemented with new topics. The ALS guide is made by a working group of highly experienced fellow sufferers and surviving relatives. We had one writer of text for Unity. The online design is made by a web builder. Note that it's always difficult to make choices in phases. It will not be perfect and we do not strive for it. But we are convinced that it will help not to have everything happen to you right away while you just have plunked into your world. We hope to have provided an example of providing information so that organizations in other countries also know about it and possibly apply it. In this way, many patients benefit from clear and reliable information. More important, they have more control of which information they want to read.
Thank you, Bianca. Any questions for Bianca, please? Yes.
Hi, good afternoon. This is Ludivine from Amylyx. Congratulations on this wonderful guide. Just what strikes me, and maybe this is more of a question or observation for Kathy somewhere out there, just what strikes me today is all these incredible initiatives that were, for myself at least, I'm learning about some. And I wonder how we can help make sure that these initiatives are accessible easily to those that are not necessarily specific, country-specific, right? So how can we ensure that this guide or information is available across the world to those who may need this specific idea? You've probably thought about this, but I wonder, just throwing that question out.
I think it's the building is not that difficult. The problem is more in all the regulations which are country specific, like the assurance, which is per country different than every other country. Sure, there are general topics which you can provide all over the world, and still there are specific topics. So you have to provide that all over the internet, but then by example, by the Alliance, to make it one guide for everybody, but still you have the country-specific stuff.
Thank you. I don't know, Kathy, whether you want to add anything, given that you were prompted to.
Happy to comment on that. I completely agree with what Bianca said, that there are specific legislative and health systems that are different in different jurisdictions. But one of the projects that the Alliance is working on, we mentioned earlier today, it's called knowledge mapping. And we're looking at what's all the information and resources and education that you need to know and be able to do across very much like your stations that you set up, Bianca, in terms of the journey. And so that project is going to look at 4 different levels in terms of information that's available on our website and resources, and then education materials for each of those stations, and leading up to what we're describing as health literacy. So that's a project that we've just started to undertake, and we have a global group working on that to develop it for the Alliance to be able to make all those resources available. The other thing I will note is that on our website currently, under each of the categories of support for PALs and CALs, we do make member resources available. So, for example, this newly published guide from the ALS Association in the Netherlands, we would add that to our website. It doesn't matter to us what language it's in. We provide resources in all different languages that they're published in, and that way people can access them on our website.
Thank you.
Yeah. And if I can comment one thing, the main reason that we started this is that we experienced that a lot of people, they did not want to know about all the information in the beginning. So that's why we looked for a system in phases. And that's something you can copy-paste.
Good, thank you. There's an online question.
I think so. There's a question online from Debbie Lower from I Am ALS. And I think it's related to the last two comments, but is there a link that can be shared to this new online repository?
Yeah, and I think the previous question was already said that there was a link through the Alliance, but we can send it. It's no problem.
Good. Thank you, Bianca. No more questions. All right, well, if you can join me in thanking Bianca for her presentation.
You're welcome. Have a nice day.
Thank you.